knows when the defense has been on the field for quite a bit. He's got to sometimes tweak or adjust his game plan. How when he can buy your defense an extra minute, sometimes when they need it, just how appreciative are you of him being cognizant of that?
Good. I think it's been good this year. At no point I felt like we were getting back on the field quick. You know, when you get turnovers, sometimes that happens, but it hadn't been a lot of 3 and outs. So we've been, even though we go fast at times with tempo, we extend drives and we extend plays. You know, and no, I think it's been good. We haven't played a lot of plays, which has been awesome. So I think we play complementary football when it's time to. We don't always do, but it seems like, especially the second half, we complement each other well.
He had an awful lot of motor, which helps because he did have a little bit of time off there. But did you see him getting stronger as the night went on?
Oh, yeah, it seemed to be, you know. As the night went, got better and better, and I think we're a second half team. We need to start faster because you don't want games to get away from you early, because it's going to come a time where you don't get off to a fast start, and it might be too much distance. I mean, you can't come back from 20 all the time like that, but I'll take it. A win's a win. We played some really good football last year and lost some games, especially, you know, late. So playing good complementary football in the second half is great, but we got to get off to a quicker start, I think.
I know, what can you do or what have you been trying to do to get you guys off to a faster start after seeing what you guys can do in the second half?
Yeah, you know, if you could put your finger on it, you know, you would, but you just go back to the basics. You go through the technique and fundamentals and all those things, make sure your eyes are in the right place. And we're kind of getting some gadget plays, some unexpected things because they know that our offense can score. And they know we can come down from a lot of points. So it seems like they're trying to steal yards. They're trying to steal points. They're also trying to steal possessions. You know, we've gotten fake field goals. They try to surprise onside. So you can see that what's their mind frame, what they're trying to do. They feel like, you know, they've got to steal points and possessions. So we have to play a little bit better, have better IQ, football IQ, and just awareness, I think, down the stretch. And just, I think that'll get us through some different types of plays. I really do.
Coach Dawson mentioned that he kind of watched a little bit of last year's tape against Louisville to pitch things. Is that something that you were doing?
Yeah, that's what we did last week. Last week, what I did was I took that game that we played against them, and I took all the bad plays or the problematic plays, and we replayed it all week. So Tuesday was a first and second down day. Tuesday was a red zone and fringe day. Came back on Wednesday and did a first and second down day, and then Thursday was a third down day. So just correcting all those things and see how they tried to hit us. And then, of course, now we're moving on to what they're doing this year. And there's some complimentary stuff, of course, but you've got to correct your mistakes. And we do it from week to week, but I thought that we would go back since we have an open date and really look at the Louisville game and really look at what they tried to do to us and maybe some things that we didn't do well. Really, it wasn't them, maybe it was us. So some of those things we did, and I think it's going to help us.
And obviously, you know, different personnel, but just how big you think that can, you know, help the team this year, just looking at those little mistakes last year?
You know, some of the guys wasn't on the field, but still they know the structure of the defense, and they know if the guy did it right or not, or maybe it was a problem play for us. So I think it'll help a lot. But they'll come up with something different. You know, they'll look and they'll build off of what they've done and maybe what they've seen from us, what kind of plays we gave up. And, you know, the first play the other night, last week, it seems like the other night, but it was long ago. We played Cal, very first thing, they tried to crack and throw a swing out the backfield, but Porter made the play, you know. So there's some carryover from one team to the next. So you got to fix your problems all the time and then, you know, try to expect the unexpected sometime.
When you did your overall self-scout, did you find a lot of ways that you can make this defense better?
You know, I looked at it schematically. I looked at it calls, pressure, non-pressure, middle field closed, middle field open. It was very balanced. You kind of know from playing man or zone what they're trying to do to you, and you try to correct that. But for his calls, there really wasn't a lot there with tendencies. So some third down stuff. But, yeah, you try to correct, and you always go back and you look at things. But every week we self-scout ourselves. So always trying to tweak some things to where you don't get, they kind of got you, well, this is what they do on certain downs. So.
When's the last time you coached at 2:30 in the morning?
Never. I've never coached at 2:30 in the morning, ever.
Your defense is on the field 3 times in the fourth quarter, and yes, I know it was 11 o'clock there, but it was 2 o'clock here, and their body clock can't really change in 2 days,
Right.
I don't think. And you give up 29 yards on
Yeah.
13 plays in the fourth quarter. Is that conditioning? What is that just?
I think it's just focus. Well, I think that play calling changes offensively and defensively, and when things are going good for somebody, it's easier to call offenses and defenses. But all of a sudden, the gap starts closing, and people start getting tight, and other people start getting confident, and it's a game of momentum, you know. And they had the momentum early, and then you could tell we had the momentum late, and you could feel that. Cam, I said it when we went down 20, when we held them to a field goal, and we were down 20. I kept telling the defensive guys, we're going to win by one. We're going to win by one. So, of course, we come back and we score. We make it a 13-point game. We hold them again. Now it's that game. You know, it's a 6-point game. We score, we kick the extra point, and I'll be dog, we won it by one. Because there's one point out there like that, and that comes back to haunt you. It's like missing the extra point. You're like, dang, is that going to come back to haunt us? And I could just feel it. Cam could turn it on at any time. I really feel that way as a defense coordinator. It makes you feel good, but I think our defense has confidence that he will too. And so they kept playing down the stretch. And in the fourth quarter, I thought we played really well. We got off the field, and then we kept the ball on offense. So we played complimentary football when it counted. You know?
Are you going to tell the defense they're going to win by this week?
No, I'd have to wait to any type of, I don't care if it's by 1, by 2, by 3, it doesn't matter. Our job is to outplay the other team's defense at the end of the night. If you outplay the other team's defense, that means you scored more points than they did. So that's our goal each week, is to try to outplay the other team's defense.
I was going to say, do you have Mega Millions numbers for us for tomorrow?
No, I don't. I'm not a fortune teller by any means, but you just kind of get a feel for things, of how things are going to go sometime. It's kind of a gut feeling.
Their quarterback, what stands out about him, just watching him?
I think he's probably the best guy we've played so far as changing his arm angles. I think he's got a feel for the game. You tell he's coached really well. He's got good wide receivers. They use the tight ends effectively when they need a play. He kind of knows where his guys are at all times. So I think he does a good job. He moves well. So I think he's a good quarterback, and it'll be a good challenge for us. Really will.
Quarterback year over year.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a different system? Have they tweaked what they do much at all, or is it?
No, it's a lot. It's a lot what they do. But Brahm's such a good. He's got such a broad knowledge, you know, being in the NFL, you know, being a quarterback, and just the different spots he's been. And he kind of takes what he's got, and he does things that are similar, but I think he also does things that they're good at. And so I just think he's a good play caller, really good schemer, and we'll have our hands full, I'm sure.
Simeon Barrow, what strides have you seen? It seems like he's coming into his own these last few weeks.
Yeah, he's been playing really, really fast and physical, and I think he's playing a little bit more relentless, and just, you know, he understands the defense each week. He's understanding it better, and he's got a lot of confidence right now. I like the way he's playing.
Anything else for Coach?
How about their skill talent? Seems like they got receivers, they got running backs, they got tight ends.
Yeah, they got wide receivers. They got different ones. They got a really big one. They've got one that's got great ball skills. Their tight ends, they got 2 to 3 of them. They also use a fullback in the backfield, and their running backs, they have different kinds. They got one they kind of settle in on. He's a local kid. He's fast. He's got really good vision, can make the cuts that he needs to, and then they got some bigger backs. So they've got a good offense, you know. So we got a good plan. I think we'll play well.
How would you scheme for Cam?
Well, I'm not going to tell you how I would scheme for him, but I'm going to tell you what problems he gives me. So all fall camp, you know, we would cover guys, and we would be in good position, and then all of a sudden he starts to move, and the receiver starts breaking off their routes, and they do a good job of coming back to him, and he does a good job of he can see everybody on the field. I think he can see me on the sideline sometime when he's playing, you know, when he's playing against him. He's got really good vision, you know. You can tell he's played a lot of football. He knows where everybody's at, and sometimes the game is really slow to him, it seems like, you know. So he extends plays. It's probably the best thing that he does, is that he's got good enough feet. He's fast enough. Then right when you think, well, he's just going to scramble to, you know, extend the play, then he runs a long one on you. So, yeah, he's a really good football player. Glad he's on my team.